Welcome back to our spectacular series, and today we have got a very special Ferrari Roma Spider. There are £120,000 worth of options, an absolutely crazy spec, and we're going to go through each and every one of them for you. So without further ado, let's see what's under the cover. Okay, so I'd like to start off with the most expensive option on the car, but I'm actually going to start off what's the most expensive option on the invoice. That's because they call it Allestimento Speciale. It's £36,064, and it basically stands for special features. So this is basically everything that is not on the Roma Spider configurator on the official option list. It's everything that's off menu, and unfortunately on the invoice they don't break down each element of that cost. So we'll go through them one by one and give you a sort of estimate. So the most expensive part of these special features is undoubtedly the paint. So this paint, we believe, is a roughly £20,000 option, and it is called Viola Hong Kong. It's a two-layer, beautiful purple paint. Obviously, you don't see this color very often on Ferraris, but it is becoming more popular in recent years. And just look at this thing. It looks incredible. Okay, so the next part of the special features I want to show you is these. These are the airbrush shields. So a lot of people will obviously go for the Scuderia wing badges, which are quite a lot smaller, but these hand-painted, beautifully stenciled airbrush shields, we believe are around £9,000 to £10,000, and I think actually work really well on the Roma, because the Romas do have really big fenders, so they actually blend in pretty well. So the next part of this special features, these off-menu items, is actually the leather. So you cannot spec this leather as part of the menu, part of the option list, and it's called Grigio Chiaro, which is a much sort of whiter leather than the sort of cremas and sabbias you can spec, and we believe it costs around £5,000 to £6,000, and it is the two-tone with the black on top, but I think works really nicely on a Spider and in combination with the exterior paint. So the final part of the special features is actually the Cavallino badge. So as standard, you get the Cavallino badges on the front and the rear in a sort of chrome finish. But as you can see here, the eagle-eyed will notice on the front, you've got that satin finish, and on the back, you've got a matte black finish. So the next most expensive option on the car is the paint protection film. PPF, as it's commonly known in our industry, and what it is it's a clear film that goes the whole way across the car. £8,700 it cost. I mean, this is a brand new Ferrari, so maybe Ferrari charge a little bit extra than what you can get it for elsewhere. It is particularly expensive considering this is not even a coupe, so you don't have to protect the roof. But the whole paintwork, that beautiful Viola Hong Kong paintwork, is protected by the film. And of course, those airbrush shields, you do not want to be damaging those. And all the carbon fiber is protected as well. So onto the next most expensive option, and this is called the personalization pack, £7,296. But this is really Ferrari being Ferrari, because whilst this is an option, it is in fact mandatory. You actually have to select this, because basically what it is it's a bunch of things that are already standard, but Ferrari are just charging you for it. And what you get for this is you get the full electric seats, so you can move your seat from down here backwards and forwards, up and down. You also get Apple CarPlay, or they call it smartphone interface, where you can connect your phone wirelessly and get all your iPhone up on the screen. You also get wireless charging, so you can stick your phone into the center console here and charge without having to plug it in. And finally, the last part of this personalization pack is actually back here on the outside. And it is in fact this tonneau cover back here, which you can see is in that sort of lovely black fabric, which matches the roof. Obviously that soft top which folds down. It does actually fold down over the top of it, but it does look very good when the top is down. So next up, we're on to the first of the carbon fiber options, and the most expensive carbon option on the car is the carbon fiber rear diffuser, £7,190. That's because it is the biggest carbon option on the car. Look how beautifully sculpted it is all around the exhaust and underneath the car as well. So the next one is a good one if you like your safety features. It's called the full ADAS pack and it's £5,546. It consists of a load of sort of driving assistance options. You can spec these individually, but as part of that full pack, you get the following. So you get the advanced front driver camera. This helps with traffic sign recognition, lane departure warning. You also get the front radar here, which is adaptive cruise control. It's also going to help with emergency braking, things like that. And then you're also going to get all the outer electrochromic mirrors. That's all the rear view mirror and these mirrors is helping reduce glare for oncoming traffic. And then finally, you also get the back radar. That gives you blind spot monitor, and it also gives you something called rear cross traffic alert. So when you're reversing into the road, it will alert you if there's a car coming. So onto another carbon fiber option now, and these ones are called the carbon fiber underdoor covers, £5,341, and you get these lovely side sills which sit underneath doors on both sides. Just gives the car a much more premium finish, because if you don't get that, you do just get that sort of black plastic look. So onto the next option, and these are the 20-inch forged dark painted rims, £3,800. So as standard, you get a different design alloy, you get cast aluminium alloys with the forged wheels. Not only do I think it is a better wheel design, but forged wheels are also stronger and they're lighter as well. The next option is the premium hi-fi, £3,800, and if you like your music, you're definitely going to want to get this option. JBL Professional have developed this sound system specifically for the Roma, and it is a way better sound system. It's 12 speakers, 1500 watts, and it does sound very good indeed. Okay, so next up we have surround view, £3,698, and obviously if you like a little bit of help with your parking, this is definitely one to have. So you have 4 cameras around the car, 2 actually underneath each wing mirror, and that is just going to help generate lots of sort of great displays on your central screen. You get the top view, the side views. Obviously Ferrari used to lag behind a bit, some of the German rivals and this kind of thing, but now they're very much at the forefront. So if you don't want to scrape those alloys, you're definitely going to want surround view. Okay, so now onto a couple more carbon fiber options, both priced at £3,595. First up is the carbon fiber front spoiler. And on the Roma, you actually get a really big piece. A lot of Ferraris, you just get a little bit at the bottom, but on the Roma, it sweeps the whole way around the front. And the other carbon fiber option, which also costs £3,595, is this. They call it the rear boot trim, but it's in fact an active rear spoiler. Normally as standard, it just comes in black, but here in carbon fiber, I think is a really nice detail because it's very much in your eye line. And I just think that's one of the coolest carbon fiber options you can get on the Roma Spider. So next up is the passenger display. This is also £3,595. If you want your passenger to be a bit of a co-pilot, this is a great option because it really allows them to get involved. You know, they can select the playlists, they can go into the performance, they can see your top speeds, they can see what gear you're in, and you can also change all the climate settings from here as well. Okay, so going from the passenger seat now to the driver's seat, and one of the most important options for the drivers is something called MagnaRide dual mode suspension, £3,390, and it is a must-have for a lot of people buying a Roma. And what it does is it gives you that double coiled suspension, so the car really adapts to the conditions, to the driver. So it's going to give you a sportier ride when you want it to be sporty, and also a more comfortable ride for those longer journeys when you want them to. So next up is the Active Matrix LED headlights. These are £3,081. They're just much better lights. Lots of different technologies in here. You've got auto high beam assist. You've got enhanced low beam modes, which I think is for sort of motorways and adverse weather conditions. You've also got the cornering lights. We've got something called town mode. They're basically much better lights, and they cost £3,081. So another one of the most important options on the car, I think, is the carbon fiber steering wheel with LEDs, £3,081. So first of all, you have the LED here on the upper arch, which flashes at the optimum time to change gear. Then you get that whole upper arch in carbon, the whole bottom bit in carbon. Interesting on the Roma, because you have the new haptic feedback buttons, you don't get the bit in the central part of the steering wheel, but you do get the lovely shift paddles as well. So next up is the squared pattern style seats, £3,030. It's basically these quilted design seats. So you can obviously get Daytona seats, or you get the plain standard seats. But for me, I actually think these quilted seats is the best design of them all. You get it here on the backrest, here on the seat, and you also get it on the back seats too. Okay, so the next bit of carbon fiber is the carbon fiber dashboard inserts, £2,836. Normally with dashboard inserts, you'd look at the sort of bits of the dashboard, but on the Roma Spider, all you actually get is this little top section here on the infotainment screen, but you also get here the speaker surrounds, which are on both sides, not exactly in the dashboard, but that's what they call it. So next up is a good one for those top-down winter drives. It is the neck warmer, £2,054, and it is a sort of thing that's integrated into the seat, which blasts out hot air so you can keep nice and cozy and warm on those winter drives. So next up, for £1,438, you get the leather passenger compartment inserts. And this is basically the whole lower cockpit zone. So as standard, you get all of this in black Alcantara, but to spec it in leather, you obviously had to pay extra. That's for the lower doors, the lower dashboard, and even this central strip on the center console. And Ferrari actually recommend you that you should spec this leather in the same color as the seats for chromatic continuity. So if you want your brake calipers to match your beautiful airbrush shields and your center caps, you have to pay £1,387, and then you have these lovely yellow brake calipers. So another leather option for £1,336, you get the central inserts in the seat in leather. So as standard, this comes in Alcantara. So not only do you have to pay for the lovely quilted design, but you also have to pay extra to get that in leather as well. Back to carbon fiber now. For £1,232, you get the carbon fiber sill kicks, which is this area here, which is a nice little area every time you open the door to be greeted with your Ferrari badge and your carbon fiber sill kick. Okay, on to another option on the interior. This one is called the coloured inner details, £1,027. And this is the little area here, which is the strip that goes the whole way down on the dashboard, down the center console, both sides. Also the little strip that goes down on the leather door panel. Normally a lot of people get this in a contrast color, so you really get an outline. But on this car, the owner has chosen to have it in the exact same color as the rest of the interior Grigio Chiaro. So, as standard on the Roma Spider, you do get chrome exhaust pipes, which can look a little bit old-fashioned. So there are a couple of upgrades. Some people go for the aluminium matte silver tailpipes, but here we have the black ceramic exhaust pipes, 1,027 pounds. It is worth mentioning these are steel pipes instead of aluminium. You just have that nice black coating, just giving you that stealthier look. And it is just worth mentioning that it's just the tailpipes, it's not the whole exhaust system. But whilst we're here, we may as well give it a listen. So the next option is called NavTrack. It's £1,021, and this is a must-have, I think, for Ferrari owners. It's basically an anti-theft system, so you get a device actually installed on the car, and then it talks to these little tracker fobs, where you get 2 of these, and basically, if you try to start the car without one of these, it will alert you straight away that the car is being started. So you obviously want to always keep these in the car when you're driving, and always take them out when you're not. So next up is the fully electric ventilated seats, £822. So the electric seats are standard, but to get the ventilated part, you do have to pay extra. So for those very hot days, obviously you want to keep nice and cool, not get a sweaty back. And you'll notice on the actual seats, they're actually perforated instead of a smooth finish. And that is the way you're going to keep nice and cool. And there are 3 different levels you can choose from. So you'll go for number 3 if you want to stay really ice cold. Next up is the embroidered prancing horses on the headrest, £770. So as standard, you do still get the prancing horses on the headrest, but they're sort of printed. They look a little bit basic, I think. So to get that lovely detailed stitching, the embroidery, you do have to pay extra. You get those on the front and the back, and I think nicely done in black to contrast with the light leather. So now onto the penultimate option, and this one is called the thermo-insulating windscreen, £719. And what this is, it basically is a windscreen that totally reduces the amount of light and heat that's getting into the cabin. So if you do park the car on those hot days, it's just going to keep the cabin a little bit cooler. Obviously a good one for hot countries and those occasional hot days in the UK. Okay, so onto the very final option on the car. The cheapest option on the car is £514, and it is the aluminium footrest, which comes for both your passenger and also for your driver. So that is it. Over £120,000 worth of options. What a spectacular example. Do you know how much this car cost new? Over £323,000. What do you guys think of it? Please do leave your comments. What do you think of the color combo? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Please do give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Please share it. Please subscribe if you haven't already. We'll see you again very soon.